All right, Kirk Kennedy out in the cold. I was just having this thought. All right, I was actually listening to this song by Justin Bieber and Juice World on iTunes. Right, so I was checking out this song, and it reminded me of a conversation that I had with my almost 14-year-old son, and I was curious. Now, to understand what I'm about to talk about, Jay-Z once said in a song with Eminem, okay? There was a song in 2001 called Renegade, Jay-Z. And he made this line, he said this line in the song, which at the time I thought was brilliant, but now I think it may be prophetic. And I'm curious as to what you all think. So here's what Jay-Z said in the song with Eminem. It's called Renegade. And he had this bar where he said, "Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it?" Right? And Jay-Z was aiming it at critics of his music who don't understand that what he raps about appeals to the streets, right? So Jay-Z said, "Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it?" And that was his point. Do you know how to listen to music or do you just skim through it? All right. That was 2001, September 11th, that album dropped. Fast forward to today. I just listened to this song by Juice World, who's dead, who overdosed on drugs, and Justin Bieber. So it's a posthumous song for Juice World, but Justin Bieber got on it. And I was listening to it. And it reminded me of a conversation I had with my almost 14-year-old son the other day. So we were riding around, and my son just said, "Hey, Poppy, do you want to ride around a little bit?" And so I said, "Sure." So we went and got some gas. And as I was talking to my son, now he's in middle school, he's in 8th grade. So he always lets me hear what are the kids listening to that go to your school. So he'll tell me, like, all right, so he'll play these songs that for me aren't necessarily sonically like great, right? They're not like the most I come from a different era of music. So, but I listen, I want to hear what they're talking about, what they're listening to. Because I still feel like as an artist myself, I want to know what people are doing and I challenge myself, can I compete? So my son starts playing me this music, starts playing me these songs. And and then I said, and some of them, like one of them was by Little Uzi Vert and some other people. So I said, okay, so I said, "Son, what do you think about what he's saying on this song? Like, what do you think?" My son is growing up in a Christian home by the grace of God. So I said, "What do you think of this song, the lyrics?" And here's what my son said. And I believe him because I know my son. He said to me, he made a face like, "You know what? Now I think about it." He said, "You know what, Poppy? I don't really listen to the lyrics that much. I just like the vibe of it." And I said, "What do you mean by vibe?" And he said, "I like the way the beat and the way he raps over the beat." And I said, "Oh, okay, so you like the cadence. So you don't even listen to the lyrics that much." And he said, "Actually, I don't." And it made me think for a second because I realized that that's what I do. But it made me think, what is music today? Like, how do people listen to music? How are people listening to music today? And as my son said that, and I believe him, I live with him, I know him, right? My son does not listen to music and then think, let me go imitate what they're saying. He really listens to the cadence, the da 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 the da 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 da. And in this generation, it's a lot of trap beats. I grew up in the era of boom bap and more East Coast New York, and slowly watched music, rap music at least, evolve and kind of grow into now it's more trap drums and trap sounds. But as I was listening to my son say that and asking him questions, I really realized, you know what? I don't think my son is describing how he listens to music. I think he's describing largely what rap music has become and how people listen to rap. And that what you do is most people, unless it's popular, right? For whatever reason, in this generation, well, it's always been like this. If a song is popular, people want to like it because it's popular, right? Or if you're a popular artist, you put out music. But when my son said that, I thought, you know what, big boy, I listen to music like that too. Like I can listen to music that's not necessarily God glorifying in that it's talking about the things of Christ, but I can listen to music and I can listen to the cadence, I can listen to the style, the vibe. And I often think that teenagers are more impressionable, which they are, but I realize, you know what? I think more people listen to rap music this way. I think more people don't really care about what's being said as much. Sure, if the song is popular or if it's catchy, you're going to say it. But I don't think kids today are listening to music and immediately trying to imitate the behavior. I think it's gotten to a point where I just want the vibe. I just like how it feels. I don't really care what he's talking about. Which brought me back to Jay-Z saying, "Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it?" Now, as an artist myself, I still write music that I want people to listen to because I'm saying something important. But this generation of rap music, if you really listen to it, it's mostly melodic. It's very melodic, a lot of auto tune. And yeah, people are saying the same stuff over and over. Like, why are rappers still talking about shooting and killing people as if that's the only thing we can talk about, right? It's because it doesn't really matter what music is saying anymore. It just matters what the vibe is. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying no one cares what people are saying and no one's influence. But even at Travis Scott's concert, right? Travis Scott's concert, that Astro World, well, 10 people were killed. That travesty that Strack and I have talked about on Cross Examine. If you think about it, if you watch the video, people were definitely dancing and jumping to his music, but what they responded to was what he said when he wasn't rapping. They respond to what the artist tells them, right? So I just thought, in this generation, people listen to rap music a lot for the vibe of it and not for the message of it. So do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? So for any artists who are out there, I think this is an important thing to understand. My 14-year-old son just gave me some game and gave you some game. I'm getting ready to drop an album that's a very serious project called Serial Killer Smiling Pictures. And I realized that, you know what? I make music for a particular audience, as everyone does, but I'm realizing that in this generation, rap music is largely a vibe. People don't really listen to the lyrics and the music. So for all you aspiring artists who are still out there, you got to understand this. If you're going to make music that has a serious message and you want people to gravitate to it, or you want people to hear your music, you got to pay attention to what's happening. What's happening in rap music right now, and most of us who actually care about lyricism will see this and think, oh, this is whack, and we'll laugh at it, but we're not realizing that it's whack only because we feel like they're not saying anything, but no one cares anymore. I won't say no one, but I don't feel like qualifying everything, right? You qualify everything and you can't say anything. But the majority of people in rap, particularly the younger generation, the ones who listen and stream the most, they are just connected to a vibe. What's the cadence and how does it feel? So I really believe that if you're making music, you need to think that way. So this might actually work against me, even though I definitely have vibes on my album. This album will give you a moment. Music is about moments. You want to give people moments. But I realized after talking to my son, wow, I really believe he really listens to this music and doesn't care at all what these people are saying. It's just, how does it make me feel? What's the vibe of that? Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? Quick word from Kirk Kennedy's corner. Kennedy, baby. I know my lips is white and all that. I'm out here in the cold. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? How do you listen to music? Do you care about what's being said? Does it matter to you? Is the vibe right? What is it? That's the question of the day. Now I think Jay-Z is a partial prophet for that bar. Until next time, y'all. Kirk Kennedy's corner. I'm out of here.